would that bring Trump's case under your jurisdiction about, what he has going on in New York and all his criminal activities, criminal activities going on?
Yes. So the New York State Attorney General, Tish James, is investigating now. That was my old office. And they're investigating. And then the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which I'm running to be, has an investigation. And so, it's very important. The next Manhattan District Attorney is going to inherit that investigation, which, could be the most important investigation in the history of the country, right? Rule of law and democracy and things like that.
But one of the things leading into this vote for the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, I know a lot of people are wondering, whoever has this job, are they going to convict Donald Trump?
Look, that is the number one issue. We know he's investigating. And what I'll say is I was the first to announce against Cy Vance. I too have a lot of issues, which is why I decided to run. I'm the candidate in the race who has the experience with Donald Trump. I was the chief deputy in the Attorney General's office. We sued the Trump administration over 100 times for the Muslim travel ban, for family separation at the border, for shenanigans with the census. So I know how to litigate with him. I also led the team that did the Trump Foundation case. So I'm ready to go wherever the facts take me and to inherit that case. And I think, it'd be hard to argue with the fact that that'd be the most important, most high profile case. And I've seen him up front and seen the lawlessness that he can do.
And you believe it should happen?
I believe we have to hold him accountable. I haven't seen all the facts beyond the public, but I've litigated with him. And so I'm prepared to go where the facts take me once I see them and hold him accountable.
So, Alvin, you said leading you where the facts may lead you with regard to dealing with Donald Trump. And from what you know today, and, I know you're being careful with your words because you're running for office, so I respect that. But I know as a voter and a taxpayer, all I know is some of the things that I've seen would have put me in jail. So how is it not going to put someone at his level in jail? Now, I know the answer is he's an old white man and he's got a lot of money and he was just coming out of the office of president. But that doesn't sit well with me as a citizen of the United States and a resident of, this area.
No doubt. You're right. So I'm being careful, not so much to run for office, but because every case does have to be judged on its facts, and I don't know all the facts, right? And so I've been doing this for 20 plus years, so I want to be fair. But with that said, there is a lot that's out there publicly. I look at what the Attorney General is looking at as a civil case, which could become a criminal case at the Manhattan DA's office, where on the one hand, he's saying, hey, look, this piece of land is worth $1 when I want to go pay taxes, taxes on it. But when I want to go get a loan, all of a sudden it's worth $1 million, right? That's
public, but that's public information that he did that.
And so what I'm saying, that's why I'm focused on that. That kind of conduct right there could definitely be the basis for a case. I've done a mortgage fraud case. I've gone to trial. I've done a tax fraud case. That kind of conduct right there is deeply troubling. And that's what I'm thinking about when I say, holding him accountable. So yeah, you are right. We got two standards of justice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, being a rich old white man has allowed you to evade accountability in Manhattan. That includes Trump and his children. They were engaged in fraud in a Soho real estate deal, his children. So you're right. We got two standards of justice. I grew up in the second standard in Harlem. I know all about it. And you're right. I'm being a little careful because I don't want to prejudge. And then I get in the office and the first motion I get from the Trump team is I got to recuse myself because I prejudged the facts. But you're right. There's a lot out there in the public domain that is so troubling. And I say that not just as someone who's watching it, but as someone who's done these kind of cases, someone who's litigated with Donald Trump about fraud. And by the way, and won, right? We held him accountable in the Trump Foundation case. My office did the Trump University case. So I've seen a pattern of lawlessness over 20 years. And so I'm inclined to believe all I see in the public domain and know that and believe that there's a path forward there to make a case. We need a DA on day one who has this 360-degree experience. Let's talk about what's waiting for the new DA. The docket. We know there's a Trump investigation. I have investigated Trump and his children and held them accountable for their misconduct with the Trump Foundation. I also sued the Trump administration more than 100 times for DACA, the travel ban, separation of children from their families at the border. So I know that work. I know how to follow the facts and hold people in power accountable.